Are you feeling a little bit stiffer than you used to be? Perhaps you find it harder to reach up high or get down low. Well, in this short warm-up video, we're going to look at mobilizing some of the major joints, effectively oiling your joints, as well as using some dynamic stretches to help you feel a little bit more supple. So come and join me. I'm Maria from Older, Fitter, Stronger, and I'm a 50+ specialist personal trainer from the UK. Now, this video could be used as a standalone program, as a mobility and stretch program that you could use every day, or you could use it as a warm-up before you go and do a strength-based program or a different type of workout. We're going to start off with some upper body mobilization, and I'm going to get you to think about standing with your feet hip width apart, nice soft knees. And then we're going to try and find what I call a neutral position of the pelvis. So that would be trying not to overarch the lower back, but then also trying not to slouch back. So seeing if you can find a middle ground as best you can for the pelvis. As I said, soft knees, neutral pelvis, relaxed rib cage. So we take a breath in to the middle of the back, and then we breathe out and soften the rib cage, and you should notice the shoulders then soften down as well. And I'm going to start off by just bringing the shoulders up, back, and down, up, back, and down, up, back, and down. One more, up, back, and down. And then we're going to lift the arm up. If you have any shoulder issues, you could do a shoulder roll at this point instead. Otherwise, you're going to lift the arm up with the palm facing inwards. And then as you get up here, you're going to turn the palm out, take it round in a big circle to the middle of your back or the lower back, and then turn the arm back. So you've got the back of the hand facing forward, and then as you come round, you're turning the palm back towards you. So palm faces in, palm faces out, round, middle of the back, palm faces out, and then turning the palm in. Same on the other side. So stretch up, turn the palm out, round in a big circle, touch the back, middle of the back or lower back, and then turn back. Obviously, if you have any shoulder issues, you're not going to do that. You're just going to do a shoulder roll. So up, out, round, touch the middle of the back, and then turn the arm back and round. Lovely. So we're going to stretch out the pectoral muscles a little. So palms are going to face each other, nice soft knees. Have your arms a bit lower than your shoulders, and then you're just going to open up. Open up. Good. And you should feel a little bit of a gentle stretch across the chest. An area that gets really tight. Good. I'm keeping those arms lower than the shoulders so we don't stress the top of the shoulders. Good. You can do as many of those as you wish, and then release the arms down. Then we're going to take the arms out to the side, and I'm going to take the hand forward, and we're going to do the same with the opposite hand. So palm up, palm down, turning the shoulders. So trying to get a little bit of movement into the shoulder here. And again, just do what feels comfortable for you. Do it a few times. And release. And then we're going to take the arms up, palms facing forward, and then draw the elbows down. Stretch up, draw the elbows down, and you should feel the muscles on your back are pulling downwards as you pull the shoulders down. Good. Nice soft knees, up and down, and again, up and down. Release. And then we're just going to turn the head to look one way and then the other way, nice and gently, just maintaining some movement through your neck. Good. And then the other direction. And then as long as it's not making you feel dizzy, you can go up and down, up and down, up and down, back to the center. And then we're going to do what I call the chicken move. So we're going to have the finger on the chin, and you're just going to bring the head back. And do this 4 times, nice and gently. So we're just aligning the spine here. So if the head is poking forward, we're going to bring the neck back so it's in alignment with the rest of the spine. You should get a little bit of feeling of something working at the back of the neck. We're just trying to prevent that forward head posture. And release. So we're going to look at some ankle mobility. Super important as we get older. If you don't have much mobility at the ankle, then often the knee is doing a lot more work than it should be doing. So imagine this is a wall. I'd put my hand in front of it with my baby finger on the wall. My big toe would come up to the thumb. So you're spreading the hand out. So you've got about that distance from the wall. Put your foot there. And then you're going to bend the knee beyond the toes, keeping the heel down. So this is also quite a good test of your mobility at the ankle, and obviously feel free to hold on for this one. So if your knee doesn't come beyond the toe, the big toe, then that's probably telling you need to do a little bit more work on this. If it goes, say, 10 centimeters beyond the toe, then that's pretty good range. So you could do up to 10 of these on each leg, I would say. And if you need to, you can do it every day. So let's have a look at some hip mobility. We're going to start off with some hip flexion and extension. So coming up and back, up and back. We don't go too far back because the hip only has a limited amount of extension. If you go too far back, you start using the back muscles to help you. So just forward and back a little, like so. Good. You could do, say, 10 on each side of those. Then we're going to come into some internal and external rotation. So you're just going to bring the foot alongside you and go out and in, out and in. This hip stays still, and you're just bringing the knee out and the knee in, like so. And again, you could do up to 10 of those. Next, we're going to just do a little bit of a side bend in standing, soft knees, that neutral pelvic position that we talked about, and then just sliding gently down and sliding gently down. Good. Sliding down one side. You should feel a bit of a stretch in the side of the back. We don't often stretch out those muscles. Only go as far as you're comfortable to go, and you could do that 3 or 4 times on each side. And lastly, we're going to come into some spinal mobility, really important as a lot of us do have stiff backs. I know I do. So this could be done on the floor or on a bed if you find it hard to get down to the floor. I'm going to come onto my back to start with. If you have a stiff neck, I would recommend popping a folded up towel or blanket under your head. And we're going to do some pelvic tilt. So if you can see, my back is arching away from the floor, and then I'm going to tip it backwards so it's pressing down onto the floor. Here's my arm out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Breathing in, breathing out. So we're just tipping the lower back towards the mat. And this is a way of moving the lower back, which can get very stiff over time. So breathing in, breathing out. Up to you how many you do of those. And then just find a middle position between those 2 points just to rest in. So as you can see, my ribcage is kind of flaring away from my body, but really we want it to be flatter to the body. So if we breathe into the middle of the back, and as we breathe out, we see if we can flatten the ribs down a little, and that should lengthen the muscles on your back. So have a go at that. It might take you a few times to practice that and get the brain used to doing it. And then we're just going to take the knees gently from side to side. Just a little bit of mobilization of the hip and the lower back. Just observing the upper body and seeing if you can keep that nice and soft and relaxed. And then back to the center. And then we're going to go back to our pelvic tilt, and we're going to tip forward and back a few times. That's it. And then on the next one, you're going to tip backwards, press firmly into the feet, and see if you can roll up towards the shoulder blades. Don't have to come up too high. If you come up too high, you're probably going to overextend into the back, which is not going to be very comfortable. So don't come up too high, and then roll back down. Imagine each vertebrae is coming down one at a time onto the floor. And then we're going to do it again. Going to tip back. We're going to roll up through the spine. And then we're going to gently roll down. And again, you could do that 5 or 6 times. And then just bring a knee into the chest. Breathe into the middle of the back again. And then breathe out. Just soften the back. And switch sides. Breathing into the middle of the back. Breathe out. Let the lower back muscles go. And release. And then stretching the arms in front of the chest, palms facing each other. We're just going to lengthen the arms up towards the ceiling. Take the shoulder blades with you and then bring the shoulder blades back down. Stretch up and down. Stretch up and down. Stretch up and down. One more. Stretch up and down, and then release. And then just coming into a seated position, we're going to do a little bit of trunk rotation. If you're not comfortable in this position, just as acceptable to do this exercise on a chair or on the edge of the bed. Left hand onto right knee, right hand behind, sitting up tall, and you're just going to rotate the trunk towards the right. And then switch, right hand onto left knee, left hand behind, sit up nice and tall from the lower back. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, rotate gently towards the left side. So we're not rotating the lower back, it's just this middle section of the back. And then lastly, we're going to come onto the knees. And if you're not comfortable on your knees, back the spine, I can show you an alternative. Little tuck at the pelvis if you've got quite an archy back. So then you should feel the stretch in the front of the hip and the thigh. And you're just drifting forward and back, holding on as required. Just to get a bit of a stretch through the front of the hip and the leg. So if you struggle with that kneeling hip stretch, you could just take a leg behind you in standing and then just tuck at the pelvis and then just drift the hip forward. So tuck and gently press the hip forward. Tuck, gently press the hip forward. Tuck, gently press the hip forward. So there you have it, our short mobility and stretch routine. I do hope you found that useful. If you did, please subscribe, like and comment, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.